Hello and welcome to episode 28 of the 71st Hour Gaming Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Jamie, and as always, joined by my two gaming pals, Ben and Nathan. How you guys doing?
Gaming pals,
You doing
good.
good?
Good.
Doing good, yes.
We're doing a special late night edition of the podcast.
Yes.
We had to move some things around, but it's okay. We got here in the end.
Mhm.
So this is probably coming out on, I imagine, either probably on Sunday, right?
No, it's fast now.
Oh,
Yeah,
true,
yeah,
that's
the internet
right,
is
that's
fast.
Yeah.
right. Am I fast enough to get a thumbnail done? That's the question. But yes, we are here. We're ready to talk about video games. There's actually a lot of good stuff coming up soon, guys. There's next week is gonna pop off. But this
There's
week
a lot
there's
of good
actually
stuff
some.
coming next week.
There was actually a lot of good stuff this week too. That's worth talking about as we get close to Gamescom, as we get close to the absolute fucking onslaught of video games. And so to start with, on the topic of this coming storm of games that are coming soon, I wanted to start with this week's hotfix, with Alan Wake 2's delay. But it's not what you
shit.
think it is. It's when I saw Alan Wake 2 delayed, I was like, oh shit, dude, Fantasy
it.
Critic is in shambles. But it's only been delayed 10 days, so this is what Remedy had to say. Remedy has announced a 10-day delay for the hotly anticipated Alan Wake 2. It was due out on October 17th, but will now launch October 27th. In a statement, Remedy said October was packed with game launches and wanted to give players more space to play everything. October is an amazing month. This is a quote. October is an amazing month for game launches, and we hope this date shift gives more space for everyone to enjoy their favorite games, Remedy said. So yeah, obviously Alan Wake 2 was set to launch the same week as Spider-Man 2 and as Super Mario Wonder. I just like how candid they are about this, where they were just like, hey, we get it. There's a lot of games coming out. We understand. It is funny because in this article they said that back in 2010 the launch sales for the first Alan Wake suffered due to launching in the same week as Red Dead Redemption 1, which I totally forgot about that was the case. So yeah, I'm glad they're not repeating the same mistakes as in 2010. But yeah, I'm curious. Are you guys excited for Alan Wake 2? I know Nathan, you're a fan of Alan Wake 1. How are you feeling about Alan Wake 2?
Yeah, it looks pretty good. I mean, I just finished playing Control not that long ago, and all the DLCs. That was amazing, and same dev. So
man, I do have to finish. That's what I got to do. I got to finish those DLCs before Alan Wake 2 comes out because I know that they connect.
So they do
Alan
actually
Wake and
connect?
Control. Yes, they
Okay.
take place in the same universe.
Okay.
Okay. And so I'm curious if there's going to be any Control reference. I'm assuming there's going to be some kind of.
Well, you called out the pistol, didn't you? It was
I did call it the pistol. That is called. It's called the service. They call it the gun in the game is called a service pistol in Alan Wake 2 in the UI, but it's also called a service pistol in Control.
Yes.
And I know we said that
officers of the law in America, and that's what they're called.
It is true, but the thing with the Control service pistol is that the law behind that gun is that it adapts to your situation and environment. So that's why in Control, in the space that she's in, it's very futuristic. It transforms. It changes. I don't know. It's just very specific. As I said before, it's very specific wording.
It's very. Well, the thing is for me is that they didn't need to have that in the gameplay demo. You know what I mean? They didn't need to have it in the
UI. That's true.
Exactly.
But I guess there's going to be multiple weapons. You can see in the gameplay they do show a shotgun.
Yeah,
some kind of double barrel shotgun. So, I mean, hey, who knows? Maybe that pistol's going to transform into the shotgun. We don't know for sure. We don't know. They might go full sci-fi with this. But what I do appreciate about what we've seen from Alan Wake 2 so far is how they've taken a lot of what Control did for the. I feel like Remedy really leveled up with Control, and they've sort of taken all the learnings from that game, and they've just made Alan Wake 2 seem like it's going to be really, really incredible. I'm really stoked. Seto, Ben, how do you feel about Alan Wake 2?
Oh man, just call me Seto.
Did.
What does this come out again? It got pushed back 10 days.
It's now October 27th.
Oh, when is Spider-Man 2?
It's a week after Spider-Man 2 now.
Okay. I
You haven't played the original. You haven't played Alan Wake 1, right?
I haven't. That's the thing.
And you haven't played Control.
I have. I started Control, but I stopped because another game came out. I forgot what game came out, but another one did. It took my time away from actually finishing off Control.
It's crazy, man. Both of those games are really great. I'm actually really. I got to say, with Alan Wake 1, I'm not sure how well it holds up now. I know you played it recently, Nathan.
The remaster is broken on PC.
Oh, that's right. It's broken on PC. Yeah.
So don't play it there if you're going.
Is this coming out on Game Pass, or is this something you have to buy?
No. Full release, got to pay.
Yeah.
It's only on the Epic Games Store.
Okay. Like I think I'm excited for it. It's just there's so many other games coming out. It's so hard to divide time to something that I'm sort of not really have my attention to. You know what I mean?
I will say, they have very, very strongly suggested that this is very inspired by Resident Evil.
Yes.
2 and 3 and 4. Those remakes.
I was gonna say when I said this when I first saw the gameplay, that really reminded me of Resident Evil. Like especially I think after I saw this gameplay, it was like a couple of weeks after I played Resident Evil 4, and it gave me such a similar vibe. So that's what gets me really interested into it. But it's gonna be hard finding the time. That's the thing.
It is gonna be. I mean, yeah, that's for sure. I think now that it's coming out October 27th, there's more.
It's gonna be easier.
Because like October 17th, I was fully planning on trying to finish Alan Wake 2 in 3 days before Spider-Man 2, but it comes out on a Tuesday. It was going to come out on a Tuesday, which is just, I don't have as much time during the week to play games as I do on the weekend. So now that it's coming out on a Friday, much better time. By then I will surely have finished Spider-Man 2 because I'm going to devour that game.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's just a better time, closer to Halloween as well. So for the spooky season.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I'm pretty hyped for this game. I think I honestly think Alan Wake 2 may end up being like a sleeper kind of, maybe not Game of the Year nominee, but a sleeper hit that is going to really surprise people because it's coming out it's sort of been overlooked because of where it's releasing. But
yeah, true.
Very excited for Alan Wake 2.
Yeah, I think it looks really good.
And also the graphics, man. Like it's
dude, it looks
on
great.
another level. Insane.
It does have a very, what's the word? It's not like unique, but like one thing I did notice when I was playing Control is that it's not the graphics that are unique. It's like the environment and the detail in the environment and how it gets used is very unique. You know what I mean? So like in Control, how you had those, like, well, I don't know what they were called, but it was basically it was the enemies of the game and how they were basically like glitched and malformed and whatnot. Like
I love the art style and Control. Like how they were able to make like a corporate environment that's very I mean, typically a bland corporate setting made it look super interesting and like
made it like very ethereal. You know what I mean? It was very cool. It was very
otherworldly, and they did a really great job. And I'm glad that they're now using that technology and that art style and that just overall like presentation that they kind of honed in on Control in Alan Wake 2, with kind of the lush environment that they're showing off. Yeah, I mean, I'm stoked for this game. I can't wait. It's gonna be fantastic. Do we have any? I was gonna say, speaking of a game that none of us are stoked about, which we have dragged this game through the fucking mud for ever since it got rumored, I guess, and that's Modern Warfare 3. So it has been revealed finally. They did like a cool little Warzone event for all those Call of Duty players out there.
Oh, dude.
I didn't play it. Obviously. I don't even know what you get, some rewards and stuff. But then they released kind of a trailer for the game and also some more information about the game overall. And I mean, this is looking more and more like it was meant to be an expansion for Modern Warfare 2.
It's insane.
I don't know how deep we want to go into this, but I mean, some of the main points that I wanted to bring up is that all the launch maps for Modern Warfare 3 are remasters of the original Modern Warfare 2 maps, the 16 original maps from that game, which is cool, but it is really weird.
New maps?
It's very strange. There's no brand new maps. They did say that over the post-launch seasons they're going to release 12 all new 66 maps. But it's so weird to have like remastered MW2 maps in Modern Warfare 3. It's so obvious that this was meant to be like an expansion for Modern Warfare 2 to be like, hey, is all those maps that you remember playing back in the original in the, in the new Modern Warfare 2.
Doesn't your progression carry over as well?
Yes. So all your guns, your operators, every cosmetic, except for I believe like the horns, like the car horns, because of I'm assuming licensing. That's all carrying over into Modern Warfare 3. And so all the weapons that are in Modern Warfare 2 will be usable in Modern Warfare 3. All the maps from Modern Warfare 2 will be in Modern Warfare 3, I believe. Actually, that's a good. I actually don't know if they've necessarily said that. I think it may just be the guns, operators, and stuff the players have earned. Maybe not the maps.
I love how they're hyping up no Russian, right?
Yeah.
Like after that had some really bad controversy with it, and they're hyping it up to be like this really
Well,
big
I mean,
moment.
I gotta say, I mean, that's how Modern Warfare 2, the campaign ended, was with the teaser
Yeah.
for No Russian, and it was kind of exciting. It was kind of
Hmm.
cool.
Oh yeah, I can
Um,
definitely see it because it's such a what's the word? Because it
I
was such
do
a
like how
shocking
they're
thing you did.
modernizing it,
It
like
is.
that. So they show a little bit of it, but that cutscene, he basically builds the pistol out of essentially it's just like for I believe it's just printed materials
Oh,
and
that's
just
cool.
forms it on the plane, and then he
That's
gets the
cool.
text and says no, it says no
I
Russian, and then it ends. So
I do remember people saying the Modern Warfare 2 campaign. Was it the Modern Warfare 2 campaign was good or the Modern Warfare remake campaign that was good? Or were they
the
both good?
29 Modern Warfare 2019 was really good.
It was a really good campaign. Yeah.
Modern
Is
Warfare
this
2, I thought was a downgrade overall.
okay? Was it still good or
It was
like?
still it was. It's not my favorite campaign, but I still had a good time with it. I guess.
Mhm.
It was just
Mhm.
a little bit disappointing given how good I found the Modern Warfare 2019 campaign.
Yeah.
And I really don't have a lot of hope for this one.
Mhm.
Because they,
Mhm.
I mean, a big thing is that this doesn't seem like it's concluding this trilogy. Like they
Yeah.
haven't mentioned that it's a conclusion. It's just like, overall, I think it's going to be like a setup of Makarov as a villain, and then you'll see Modern Warfare 4 will be like some kind of confrontation, and then
Mhm.
we'll go from there. But they do mention in the campaign that it'll be a mix of linear missions, but also with more like open combat missions as well that
Okay.
provide player choice. So an example they gave is like you could do an entire mission stealthy, and you can choose to outfit your weapons with suppressors and
Mhm.
go in solo, and instead of going in with a squad, which is cool, I
Yeah.
guess. But I
I'm.
still feel like some of the open levels that Call of Duty's kind of experimented in the past, even in Modern Warfare 2, had a mission like that. Just
Mm,
didn't hit at all. Like I think I just prefer the popcorn blockbuster kind of
yeah.
sequences, and the open level stuff in the past hasn't provided that for me.
Mhm.
So
What do you?
I don't
How
know.
do you guys feel about the progress carrying over? I feel like in theory the progress carrying over could be a good idea, but I feel
It's
like
I
this
mean
game is too
I
similar.
think overall that's a pretty good choice. I think a lot of people
Yeah.
are excited about that because you think about all the money you spend cosmetics on cosmetics, and then the next game comes out and it's like, oh, you
Yeah. Exactly.
can't
Right.
use that.
Mhm.
It does
Mhm.
kind of suck, and it does seem like they're moving more to a more unified experience. Like I don't know if you saw, but the Steam application for Call of Duty now isn't Modern Warfare 2, it's just Call of Duty.
Oh. Okay.
And
That's
so the
cool.
way it's going to work is that everything is going to be in its own central app, and then you go from there, basically.
Oh. Okay. That's cool. That's cool.
Um,
Another
and there's
launcher, Pog.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, so it's weird where it's like it's technically a launcher, but you're still like I guess it is just a launcher, but it's still within. I don't know. It is kind of strange. It's within Steam, and it's like the launcher's in Steam as like its own app. So
Mhm.
I don't know. But that is kind of cool that there will be that kind of progression
I do
between.
like that because it was a thing where like every new COD that comes out, you spend so much money on the last one. You know what I mean? It's just like it was a little bit tough. So having that carry over is very nice. That
But
is very nice.
as a zombies fan, Seto, how do you feel about the Modern
Oh,
Warfare
dude.
zombies?
Okay, so
You want to tell you a little bit about that?
yeah, yeah, sure. Tell me what are we
So
hearing?
Modern Warfare Zombies team up with other squads to survive and fight massive hordes of the undead in the largest Call of Duty Zombies map ever. Modern Warfare Zombies tells a new Treyarch zombie story with missions, core zombies features, and secrets to discover. Ready up for an open world PvE survival experience against some of the biggest enemies in Call of Duty history.
Okay,
Yeah, so how do you feel about that?
here's the thing that annoys me is that Outbreak, which was the original like open world zombie series, must have done well for them to retry it. You know
No,
what I
I don't
mean?
think that's the case.
But why are they
Yeah, I'll
doing
tell
it
you why they're
then?
doing this.
Why?
Because they desperately needed this game to have content, and they're using the Warzone
Oh,
map
oh,
and just putting zombies on it.
is that really what it is?
I believe
It
so. People. So
oh
some of the rumors are that it's like DMZ, but with zombies.
oh my.
So
Okay, that makes sense, dude. I said this before. I just want a good zombies experience again.
well, apparently there. One of the prominent Call of Duty leakers said that when Treyarch's next game comes out, it's going to be like the proper round-based zombies.
Oh, thank God.
This is just like a
This is just a
they're
carryover.
really trying to keep make it look like this is a full, because it's $110 Australian.
Yeah, they're just trying to
or
get a full
170
experience.
if you want to buy the big dick edition or whatever.
$170?
It was either 170 or 160. I
Holy
think it's 170.
shit. Holy shit.
And you get like the battle pass, and it's always weird when they do like you get the battle pass, but then they give you tier skips in it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like I feel like people who are spending the $170 probably going to
Spend the money on the.
I mean, oh no, not even that, but they're probably going to just get there naturally.
Yeah, exactly. True.
Anyway, I always thought that was weird. But anyway, so more towards the multiplayer. So obviously you've got the 16 launch maps that are just remasters, which is cool. I mean, Modern Warfare 2's launch maps were really fantastic. Like you've got Afghan, you've got Estate, you've got Terminal, you've got Favela. Dude, there was a lot of good maps. There's a lot. I think Modern Warfare 2 probably had the best launch slate of maps ever. It's really, really good. But there's also some new details that I almost want to call this just like they're trying to like make Call of Duty players happy finally, where you've got map voting coming back. You've got the classic mini map, which I don't know if you guys knew, but they basically changed the mini map where if you shot, you didn't show up on the mini map. So it just led to a lot of campers because there was no kind of like if you shot and killed someone without a suppressor, you would just not get spotted, and people would just.
Yeah, wait, what's the point of suppressor then?
Yeah, so one, what's the point of a suppressor? What's the point of the mini? Like the mini map was basically useless because it just showed you where you were on the map, but it didn't actually. Yeah, it didn't. I mean, I guess when there's a UAV up, you could see enemies then, but not when they're shooting. Players also have 150 health, so that's good because I thought Modern Warfare 2 you died way too fast. It was like literally 1 or 2 bullets and you'd be dead. Slide canceling, reload canceling are back. I know people are really excited for that because they kind of took that out of Modern Warfare 2, where like the new Modern Warfare 2, I guess. And a bunch of like the sweats really enjoy like getting around the map as fast as possible and canceling shit, I guess. And they also say that there's more classic movement coming back as well, and all the perks will be active from the beginning. Which I don't know if you guys know about that, but Modern Warfare 2 made it so your perks would activate at certain intervals in the match.
Oh,
weird choice. I'm not sure why they did that.
Odd choice.
And so like the stuff like Ghost or Ninja would happen. You'd only have it for half of the match because it would happen. Yeah, it was a really weird choice. Yeah, I feel like they were just making choices. They were making changes.
Yeah, it feels very
to
artificial. Yeah, it changes to make changes, right? It felt very artificial. That feels very artificial. Yeah.
So yeah, they're making these changes. All the COD nodes are really excited about this. They're really happy about it. I'm still waiting for when they finally get their hands on this game and everyone's just fucking flaming it and it's just awful. And
how much money did Modern Warfare 2 make? Like, how well did that game do?
It did very well.
It did very well. Okay.
Yes.
Because I'm wondering, like, are these
not
games
as well as Modern
still...
Warfare 1? I don't think.
Are these games still doing well? Because
yes.
they are. Yeah, like that's the thing. That just surprises me.
I think you can, like, even though I feel like everyone's really down in the dumps on Modern Warfare 2, it still has a lot of players.
Interesting.
And like, I mean, the second this Modern Warfare 3 trailer came out, it's straight to the top of trending. So like, there's still interest in Call of Duty, and I don't think that's ever gonna wane or go away. But I'm personally not going to pick this up. I don't think.
No,
I might wait to see what people think of it. I do like the fact that it's 150 health, that they do have some of this stuff back. What do you say? What do you say?
50 tier skips?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like half of the battle pass you just get immediately.
Whoa, holy shit, that's so much.
I know,
my God.
but it's yeah, I don't know. It's weird. So they're making a lot of good changes here, but I don't know.
It just
man.
It feels like that they're just trying to rake more money in for something.
Well, yeah, it just seems like they're really trying to be this is trying to be like a crowd pleaser Call of Duty.
Yeah, 100%.
Because they know like I would say the amount of content you're getting here is not what you usually typically get in a Call of Duty game. Like it feels like
there's a campaign.
There is a campaign, there's multiplayer, and there's no Spec Ops, there's zombies. But the zombies is one map. So.
Yeah. I bet you that like the zombies I feel like zombies is very easy to do, right? So I feel like, yeah, as you said, they just did the COD map, threw some zombies on it, and then that's what they called as after doing Spec Ops. Like it's probably just easier to make. And
as I said, the rumor was this took a year to make.
Jesus Christ.
They basically started working on this the second Modern Warfare 2 released. So
that's funny. Okay,
which is honestly kind of impressive that they got this, that they have this amount of stuff in it. But Yeah, it really does feel like a lot of people have been saying like, "Oh, we beta tested Modern Warfare 2, and this is the outcome," and that
Yeah.
it's honestly that's kind of what it feels like.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm guessing you guys aren't interested in this at all.
No.
Yeah,
No.
I'm.
Okay,
This
Call
is
of Duty's come and went for me from like high school, to be honest with
yeah,
you.
that's fair
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that, and that's totally fair. Like I don't think I've typically really had a great experience, like a really solid experience with the Call of Duty game since probably Modern Warfare 1, like 2019, and that was just
Mm.
the campaign mostly. So
Yeah.
I think honestly, when it's on Game Pass, I'll be very excited to play it, the
Yep.
campaign finally. But
Oh,
that's,
true, because COD's coming out then. That's true. That's a good point.
yeah, but not
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah, not this year.
Speaking
Alrighty.
of, we obviously talked about delays before, but what about a reverse delay?
A reverse delay.
Assassin's Creed Mirage is coming out a week early.
Mhm.
Assassin's Creed Mirage will now be released on October 5th, which is a week ahead of its original October 12th release date. Ubisoft announced on Monday. The game has also gone gold, indicating that it's locked for release. Yeah. So I'm curious, like, what was your last what was the last Assassin's
Call
Creed
of
game you
Duty.
guys played?
The desert one.
Yeah.
Origins.
Origins.
Yeah, Origins.
Yeah.
Was the
Okay.
last one. Oh no, I was. Oh, what was the Viking
It's kind
one?
of
I was
middling
like-
for me. I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Like I know you
Really?
guys, I know that was one of the better ones of the
Yeah.
of that chunk of new ones. but
Sure.
I still even don't like it.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah, that was. Did the Viking ones come out after or before?
Yeah, that's Valhalla. That's the most
Val-
recent one.
That's the most recent. I played that one as well. Then they all get muddled in my head. But I enjoyed it for. I didn't finish it.
You enjoy I mean, I know you didn't finish Valhalla because that game's like 150 hours.
No, yeah, I did not finish Valhalla. I played like 5 to 10 hours. I was like, oh, this is pretty good. I didn't really touch it again.
I mean, honestly, those 5 to 10 hours, that's the whole loop. That's you just
Oh,
got
really?
You got the
Okay,
loop, and
okay.
that's it. Just repeating that for the next 80 hours.
okay, never mind. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
I gave up on Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Mhm,
I played like 20 hours of it, and I just honestly, it's one of the first open world games where I've looked at the map and like felt physically ill about how
Yeah,
much
seeing
time it would take
everything,
to. Because I'm one of those players that really loves to just do everything,
Yes.
get the most out of a game possible, and that's a game that I can't do. That's like 200 hours. It's like it's not happening. The good thing about Assassin's Creed Mirage is it isn't the typical open world game that we've had the last 3 times. It is, they're saying it's more like the original Assassin's Creed franchise. The map is a lot smaller. They said it takes about 30 hours to 100%, which sounds
That's pretty good.
really great
It's
to me.
always
That
nice to
sounds
have that.
fantastic. The only thing is that this does connect to Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Basically the player you're playing as, Basim, he was in Valhalla.
Interesting.
So I'm not sure how much of a connection there'll be, and I don't know if I'm gonna miss stuff just because of not playing Valhalla anyway and not really knowing Basim's story in Valhalla. Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably not gonna play this the second it comes out, but I do think
No.
it moving up a week. Even Ubisoft is scared of like the onslaught of games coming out, so it is funny
Yeah.
to see because Assassin's Creed used to be the kind of franchise that they were like, we fucking release this whenever and everyone's jumping to it.
It's really funny that this year is one of the. I think because we started the podcast this year as well, is that I'm noticing how many games this year have been moving themselves around to avoid other games.
And
Right?
I mean, honestly, it doesn't really happen that often.
No, yeah.
And obviously Ubisoft here didn't necessarily say we're moving to get out of the way of stuff,
Mm.
but they're
But it's
moving to
pretty
get out of the way of
obvious.
stuff. Like,
Yeah, it's pretty obvious, right?
because it was coming out October 12th, which is 5 days before
Spider-Man.
Alan Wake 2 or original
Oh.
Alan Wake 2 release date,
Yeah. Oh wait.
Um,
Yeah.
and 8 days, just over a week before
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man and
Mm.
Mario Wonder.
This.
What do you think? What are you thinking about this game?
Look, I hope it's good. I'm not excited for it because there's already as I keep saying this, there's already so much coming out.
There's too many games. Yeah,
It's so hard. You get a list this year, and I'm kind of just following that list. I'm not really because there's so many games coming out. You know what I mean? That's the hard thing about this. I hope it's good. I'd like to see another Assassin's Creed that's like the original ones because I really enjoyed like one of my favorite Assassin's Creed is Black Flag, which I know isn't like the original ones. You know what I mean? But
sure.
That's like one of my favorites.
Yeah,
And
so Black Flag was probably the last one that I mean, actually, no. To be fair, I really did enjoy Origins.
Mhm.
I thought that was about as far as I would want them to take the RPG stuff.
Yeah.
They didn't. They were
Yeah,
like,
they
okay,
went
now we're
much
gonna
further.
double and triple down with
Yeah.
Odyssey and Valhalla. And to be fair, I really did enjoy Odyssey.
I thought Odyssey was pretty good.
but mainly from like because Cassandra was such a fucking great character. I think she's probably the best assassin they've ever had in the game. And, I mean, even saying she's an assassin is kind of weird. She wasn't really an assassin.
Yeah.
Favorite protagonist, like she was by far the best they've ever had, and that's why. I mean, that's honestly why Odyssey was nominated for Game of the Year that year because it was. That story was actually really, really good. It was just covered in bloat and the same kind of side missions, and
Yep.
it was
The
just too big.
Ubisoft formula.
And then Valhalla was even bigger. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
this is. I'm glad they're now bringing it down a little bit, bringing it to 30 hours to fully complete, which sounds fantastic.
It is nice because that's the one issue with stuff like what Ubisoft does. They like to get the base and then they bloat it to add more hours.
Well,
to
it's
it.
so funny. I don't even necessarily think it's Ubisoft's fault. I think a lot of consumers see the amount of time it takes to finish a game as
True.
value. You always hear about people saying, "Oh, $1 for 1 hour." Like that's how it should be. It's like, no, that's the
No.
worst way to look at video games or any
Yeah.
entertainment really. And particularly video games, I feel like people are always trying to get they're trying to see, you know, how many hours they can get out of a game for a certain amount of money, and it's that's probably what's led to these games developers and publishers feeling like they need to stuff their games with hours and hours and hours of content to keep people interested, I guess.
Yeah.
And to keep
Yeah.
people buying their game.
Yeah.
I'm hoping this kind of I'm hoping
back
this
on that?
sells well. It does like critically well, so that we start getting back to this kind of Assassin's Creed as opposed
Yeah.
to everything being a massive RPG. I'm okay with them doing RPGs, but just don't make them 200 hours.
Yeah, 200 hours is a lot. That's a lot. That's
It's a whole lot.
A lot of time.
Speaking of games that are, I can't even find the segue to this.
I'm excited for this one.
Have you guys seen this trailer yet? I hope you haven't, because
I haven't.
really,
So last night you told me not to watch.
I did tell you not to watch this.
You told me not to watch this.
So this is a trailer that I saw
Is sound
on Friday.
important? Is sound important?
Sound isn't that important.
Okay, cool.
Honestly,
So just gameplay?
looking
Okay.
at it is enough. This
Okay,
is for Walking Dead Destinies.
Let me watch this.
So this game is essentially you're playing the first 4 seasons of The Walking Dead, right? But you can change things. You can make choices to change the outcomes of certain things. So the example they give in this game is that you kill Rick and save Shane instead of the opposite of what happens in the show. But it just looks real bad.
It looks real bad.
It's looking really rough. And you would think, oh, this game might be a mobile game. This is in development for PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. It just, and honestly, I do after the podcast, I do recommend going and listening to some of the audio, because you've got these voice actors who are trying desperately to do impressions of these actors, and they're not great.
Why does it look like that?
Why does it look like this?
I don't
Why
know.
why is his shirt so white?
I don't know. It honestly, you know, when people say like, oh, this looks like a PS2 game, this really does look like a PS2 game.
That animation though, what the fuck?
And honestly, I can't really blame the developers for this. It feels like a game where they were like, you've got 6
This looks like
months.
something you make in Unity. Like,
You've got 6 months to make this game
Ooh.
quick.
No, this is a joke.
This is a real game.
No.
yo, that actually looks like a Unity character. Like,
Aside from the fact that it looks terrible, it's just I personally think it's a bit of a bad idea for a game to grab something like a story that already exists and be like,
Yeah.
yo, you can change the shit out of it now for no reason.
yeah.
But also, why is it only the first 4 seasons
Yeah.
of this show that's 11 seasons long?
Oh, I don't
Yeah,
like
dude.
that.
Too much.
Yeah, the choice is yours. Yeah, so you guys picking this game up?
You know, I'm good, I reckon.
Wait.
I have literally one question from this. Why do they keep making Walking Dead games?
Yeah, we were talking about this last night. Why is Walking Dead still popular?
Are they still like, no one's buying these games, right?
No. Remember the Walking Dead game, Fear the Walking Dead? You remember that?
Well, Fear the Walking Dead was a TV show.
No. Oh, there was a video game though. There was a.
Well, there
video
was
game.
okay. So I've got an extensive list.
You
of
got a
Walking Dead
list?
games.
Awesome,
I don't have a
perfect.
list. I've got it in my mind, but the only 2 good Walking Dead games that have ever been released is the Telltale series, obviously, and I would include all of those seasons, even though they vary in quality. And the VR Walking Dead game, Walking Dead Saints and Sinners,
Yes,
is
it's
really
good.
good. But everything else, like I know there was like a Daryl and was it Daryl and Merle? Who was
It was. Hold on.
the
I'll
Dixon brothers? Whoever the brothers were, Daryl and someone. They did it like a first-person shooter, doing their story
do
leading
remember
up to
that.
them finding the camp that they're with, in the show. Awful. And I think that was the first awful Walking Dead game because everyone was like, "Oh, okay, they're like branching out. They're doing some new Walking Dead games." And like after the Telltale series, people were like decently excited until they showed the trailer, and it's like, "Oh my god, this looks fucking awful."
Mhm.
I just think AMC just loves shitting Walking Dead stuff out and
Yeah.
getting,
It
putting
seems
as
like
little
it.
money into something as possible and getting the most return. I don't know if anyone's ever gonna who's gonna buy this game. I guess like the premise of, you know, changing the story could be exciting for a Walking Dead fan. But the
Well, why
fact
don't you
that
just
it's
play the
like the
Telltale
first 4
series?
seasons only is like, and I think it ends at a really weird point in the story in general. It's like,
It's so scuffed.
it's
It
just
looks.
so scuffed.
Oh, here we go. Oh yeah, no. There's literally a video game called The Walking Dead. You remember that?
Just The Walking Dead,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it
or
was
not
literally
Telltale's
just.
The Walking Dead.
No, no,
I
no.
mean,
It
I
was.
think at this point, any game that's associated specifically with the TV show is bad. Like any of the ones that feed into not the comic are just cash grabs at this point.
Yeah,
Like if I look up Walking Dead games, there's so many.
there are so many.
I'm looking at a list of them. Oh my god. There's like Walking Dead Survivors, which was an iPad game. There was Overkill's The Walking Dead.
Oh, that's it. Thank you.
That was
Yes.
the Left 4 Dead ripoff.
Yeah, I was trying to find it. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. Overkill's The Walking Dead. That's
Dude,
right.
did you guys actually play that? I
I
didn't.
didn't.
I did.
It reviewed very mediocrely.
I played
and
it.
I
It was
just did not
really
bother.
bad. There was a really funny thing about that game where, and it's what happened every single time. So basically, if you made noise in that video game, more zombies would come. Okay,
Mhm.
and let's say you have allies who are AI, and then you have enemies who are AI as well. And then if you're trying to stealth, okay, and then an enemy sees you, your allies immediately start
Look at
opening
these
fire.
face models.
Oh, it's so bad. And the allies immediately start opening fire, and the
Yeah.
enemies start opening fire, which would cause zombies to come. And since zombies would come, everyone would start opening fire on the zombies, which caused more zombies to come, and it would be just an onslaught till your character dies. So it's just zombies showing up.
Yeah,
It was really
it
shit.
did not. It did not. I remember it was not well received, and so I was
No.
like, I'm gonna skip this one. But
Yeah.
Walking Dead Survival Instinct was the one that I was thinking of.
Yes.
The first-person survival horror game and prequel to the horror drama television series The Walking Dead, telling the tale of Hunter Daryl Dixon as he travels through the rural USA with his brother Merle during the beginning of the zombie outbreak. Yeah, as I said,
Why
anything
does-
that links directly to the TV show has not been great. So,
And also with Rick, why does he get like a little like a piss stain on his shoulder? Do you guys see that when he gets
I think it's
stabbed?
blood. I think it's meant to be blood.
That's meant to be blood.
Yeah, because he got stabbed in the neck.
Why is he yellow?
I don't know why. Just his fucking face, man. So bad. It's so bad. Yeah, like this is obviously, as you can imagine, getting completely wrecked online. It's actually got 10,000 likes, which I'm very surprised by. But I'm sure it's got a lot of dislikes. So yeah, keep an eye out for Walking Dead Destinies.
I'm so excited.
I'm sure that actually, there's a good chance it doesn't come out because
You know,
like
I can see that.
it has no release date. I
Oh,
don't
it
even know who
doesn't?
the
Oh.
no, and it's not. Yeah, I'm not sure when it's coming out. So
Yeah, it's in
Um,
development. Okay, yeah.
Fucking looks like it.
yeah, who knows? Maybe they'll come back with a new look, and it will just look like fucking
looks phenomenal?
gorgeous, like absolutely phenomenal. Who knows?
I'm ready.
Who knows for sure.
I'm ready.
Anyway, that is your hot fix for the week. So I was having trouble with the main topic for this week. Like, what do we talk about? Like we don't have Armored Core 6 yet. Starfield's still a while away, but Starfield did go gold this week, and it's now in the hands of a whole bunch of reviewers who are now playing the game. And so I thought, now that we're 2 weeks away from Starfield early access, I'm curious, like, how are we feeling about Starfield in general? Like, how do we think we're going to enjoy it? Where do you think it's going to land in like versing other games this year, like Tears of the Kingdom, Baldur's Gate 3? Like, I don't know. I want to know, what do you hope Starfield will be for you in terms of the story, quest design, gameplay expectations? Like, how do you think this is going to go overall?
Critically not as good as those two.
Right. Well, obviously, yeah. I mean, 96, pretty high. That's fair.
It's pretty insane.
But personally, how do you feel like you're going to feel about this game?
It's like the perfect game that is right up my alley. So
I was gonna say
it's the type of RPG that I like, and it's space. It's just like an easy win for me, to be honest with you.
Do you think
So as
it's
long as I don't
enough?
fuck it up, it's
Yeah.
fine.
Do you think it's enough if it's just Skyrim in space?
Probably more Fallout rather
Fallout
than
in space.
Skyrim.
Right.
But yeah, that's enough for me. I enjoyed Fallout 4, so
My one hope is that this shipbuilding is as extensive as they show it here. Like, and it looks like it will be.
yeah.
But
I mean,
just
they
wanna-
haven't showed they haven't shied away from showing anything. So
That's true.
yeah,
But I'm imagining like the shipbuilding's probably going to be something like far down the line in your playthrough. Like I can't see it being like from the get go you have enough resources and money to be able to just build your dream spacecraft.
yeah. I'd say you can add like modules.
Yeah,
pretty
I'm
quick,
actually
but
curious. I don't know if they've said if you can, because I know you can just buy ships outright, like presets. I'm not sure if they've said if you can then trick those presets out, or
it
if
looks
it's
like every ship that we have seen, at least in the game so far, is like bits of modules stuck together, and like even the ones you buy are just modules put together in a certain order.
that's true. Yeah, actually, I wonder if it's actually going to be like if the ships we come across, like the ships you come across in your game versus my game, are going to be procedurally generated specifically to your playthrough, or if we'll find ships that are just like like you'll find a certain faction ship that is just that is that faction ship.
Yeah, I think it'll be stapled into the game, like hard code.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, like what's in there is in there, bar like maybe some random ships flying around, but they probably have a list of pre-built ones anyway.
Right. Yeah. I'm really curious how that whole system is going to work. You know, obviously they've showed a lot of it, but in practice, like what does that loop look like? How much grinding is involved with getting the materials you need to kind of start building up your ship? Be interesting for sure. I'm also wondering how kind of if it's going to be mandatory, not mandatory, but like if they're going to very much push you into building your own ship, or if it will be something that's like sort of you can do but you don't have to do.
Yeah, I reckon it'll probably be more of like an optional thing.
Yeah.
Definitely something that'll help for sure, but yeah, I wouldn't say that you need it.
Yeah, like
based off of their like previous stuff with like settlement buildings and stuff like that in Fallout. It was like it was a nice to have, and it helped you with your playthrough, but yeah, you didn't need to do it at all.
I really hope they don't do those settlement missions like they did in Fallout 4 for this game. Like
There'll be something similar.
I could imagine them doing like, yeah, set up an outpost at this planet on this planet, and man.
Well,
I
there'll
don't
be
know.
that for the tutorial for sure. I can guarantee you. It'll be
Sure,
exactly
just to
as
show
you're
you how it
describing
works. Yeah, that's fair enough. But I mean, Fallout 4 did it. It was like I can't exactly remember, but it was like I feel like half of my mission log was just settlement missions.
It was old
to get
mate
set
in
up.
the cowboy hat.
Oh god, yeah, man.
Another settlement needs your help.
Oh yeah. It'll be curious. I mean, how you feel? Seto, what are you expecting from Starfield?
I don't know. I'm staying on this conversation because like the thing is right now is that I don't have like really high expectations for this game. I'm gonna play it. I'm most likely gonna enjoy it, right? Because I think I really enjoyed No Man's Sky. Feels like a little bit similar. But the thing for me, and I've talked about this with you, Jamie, is
The Xbox fanboys are gonna hate you.
Yeah.
For just even mentioning that it looks anything like No Man's Sky. Bro, you mentioned that it looks like No Man's Sky and there's like riots in the streets.
Really?
Yeah, people are really
Jesus.
mad about it.
Jesus.
I can see the comparisons, obviously.
Yeah.
It's a space
mean,
game. It's got to have some sort of
yeah,
comparison.
Exactly. And you're,
Exactly.
you're gathering resources on planets that are, yeah, I mean, it totally makes sense, the comparison.
But the thing for me is that very similar time, Armored Core is coming out, which I am more excited for Armored Core than I am for this game, right? And
What do you think Starfield needs to do to pull you away from Armored Core 6? Like, what component specifically? Is it the story? Is it just like the
bare
role-playing
sex
elements?
Um.
There's no sex scenes.
Ah, damn it. No.
There is. You can have sex. You can have romances, but I think it just fades to black.
Here's the thing. It's hard because the reason why I'm so excited for Armored Core is because I've always loved like mech and mech style games. I love Titanfall and whatnot. Like I've always loved those types of games. So
But
it's
don't you
really
love space?
huh?
Don't you love space?
No,
you
I do
know?
also love space. That's the thing, but I'm more excited for mech than I am for space. That's the thing. And
That's crazy. I mean, I
it's-
get it. I understand. I
it's that-
feel like even like Armored Core 6 is almost like a known quantity because you know From Software's kind of.
that's another reason, right? I
It's just
Although-
got that Bethesda touch. You just don't know.
It's so funny. Like there's been some like rumored, like not leaks, but like of reviewers talking about their experience with the game so far, like on Discord channels. I'm not sure how legit it is, but someone said they've played 15 hours so far. They haven't come across any bugs. So I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
shit.
Take it with a grain of salt, but like
I will believe it when I see it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like I saw that, I was like, okay, we'll see. We'll see for sure. We'll see, you know, how it goes. And dude, people are going in. They're like looking at like the version number of Starfield and being like, well, Fallout 4 was version 1.1 and Starfield's version 1.6 for launch. So like they've got more patches in, you know, who knows?
Yeah.
You know, they're patching this game up before launch. I mean, it is a good, you know, kind of signifier of how much they're updating this game before launch. So
I will quickly say before I go back to being quiet here because I don't really want to topic. I am still very excited for Starfield. I am still because this is just it looks like a really
like you're
cool
gonna play
game.
this like this.
Oh, I am
like,
gonna 100% play it. I am gonna 100% play
now.
it.
Are you early access or just like
no,
September
I'm not
6th?
gonna early access. I'm gonna September 6th. I'm gonna do that. I'm not gonna early
Pussy.
access. You pussy.
Okay, but what if I say on September 1st that this is the greatest game ever made?
Well, that's the thing is that if you guys
September
come
2nd.
to
I guess I need to play it.
if you guys come to me and you guys are like fanboying about this game, like how you did like a Tears of the Kingdom, right? I will probably get it then. You know what I mean? But I won't play it until I finish Armored Core, and that won't be that too long anyway. Armored Core is I'm not gonna take me that long.
Well, apparently it's 60 hours to finish.
Yeah,
fully.
exactly.
But I guess that's fully with like S ranking and like.
Yeah.
I've already decided I'm not going to S rank these missions
Yeah.
because it's like you can't die, you can't change your mech. It's like
it's a lot.
I'm not going to be good enough at that game to be able
But
to do that.
it's depending on how you guys go. If you guys really really just suck the dick of this video game, I might get it. But we have to
Dude,
wait
I'm
and
going to
see.
be all up in that just suck of dick.
But I'll wait and see. I am very neutral about this game. I can either be very like, it's okay, or this is gonna be like one of my favorite video games of the year. I could see.
I
Going
can't
either
see
way.
it being any worse than good. I'd be surprised.
Oh,
if
yeah,
it was
exactly.
I
like-
mean, there's no
yeah.
way.
Exactly.
I just think the amount they showed in June shows just how confident they are. Even them sending out review codes this early is confidence. Even
Yeah.
setting when the embargo is, which I think is technically after early access starts for us.
Oh, okay. Oh, because we're Australia. And, yeah, you get
Yes,
it
and
tiny bit early.
technically 10
Yeah.
p.m. for us because on the 31st because of the New Zealand trick.
Yeah.
You can just change your region on PC and Xbox and just play games.
W.
When it yeah, I know it's really great. So I'm
Only
definitely
3
hopping
hours
in.
anyway.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I just think they are exuding confidence with this game
Sandwiches.
and just you grab every sandwich. You know, I will say I'm impressed with Baldur's Gate 3 keeping objects in that game as well.
Oh, did you see the photo that went out today where someone collected and didn't sell anything for the entirety of Baldur's Gate, and then had
Oh my god, are we talking about Baldur's Gate now?
No,
Very quick.
no, just
And
for a
just about the,
second,
like,
just
the
for a
loot haul.
second.
And just about the loot haul. And it showed the loot haul that you could get, and it just like so he had like a dead body in there and everything as well. It just had like a massive gold loot haul. It was very funny. I do hope this game does have something not similar to that, but like
Well,
where you
I mean,
see...
you can see like those sandwiches that she was putting in
Yeah,
her ship.
exactly,
They're staying there
right?
forever.
It'll work
I want-
exactly
really
the
cool.
same as the last like 4 Bethesda games, I'd say.
Exactly. I wonder if it's going to be like the PS3 version of Skyrim, where the more doors you open, the laggier the game got because it kept well, I guess it was like logging every single action a player was doing, and it got to a certain extent where it would just memory. It was some memory leak issue where it would just the longer you played, the worse it got.
Fill a city with like cabbages or something like that.
Yeah.
Something that you could fill something easily with. Cabbages are usually pretty easy to come by.
Yeah.
And then you start doing stuff like that to slowly get to the memory limit, and then it just underflows. Yeah.
Yeah, there was something really fucked up about the PS3 version in particular, where like even if you would just play normally, it would just like you get to 20 hours in the game and it's like, no, this is running at 15 FPS.
That's
Which is
funny.
really bad. They have never probably fixed it, I don't think.
Oh, that's
Like they
bad.
did some patches to sort of fix it, but it was never. But at that point, honestly, 2011, people didn't care on console, didn't care about frame rate the way they do now.
Right.
and
Can you
people were just
imagine
like-
a 15 FPS game.
Dude, people didn't know. People didn't know. They were like, they didn't know what they were getting into. They were just like, this game's great. I love 10 FPS. Yeah, I honestly want the writing to be good in this game. That's my one concern is that
I could see that.
like even Fallout 3, like the writing's good, but it wasn't really like I don't know.
I
it
don't
was
think a
more like,
Bethesda game has ever been like fantastic. It's
no,
just been,
exactly,
like,
and that's what I
it's
kind
their
of
element.
want that. I kind of
Yeah.
want them to like really flex and just like I hope their writing team's just kind of gone in, and also quest design wise, like I mean, Bethesda's always been fantastic about. Even Fallout 4 had fantastic quest lines, and I'm I'm really curious how they're going to set up quest lines in this game, and like if you have quest lines that span multiple planets or multiple locations, or if it's just going to kind of centralize them to a lot of the main kind of the what do they call the cities in the game? Like I can't remember. There's like a few cities in the game that are like habitable by a lot of people. I can't remember. Yeah, but I'm very excited for this game. I am curious, like going into this game, how do you guys think you're going to play your character? Are you going to go full evil? Are you going to be the good guy? How do you usually play RPGs?
Oh, I want that controller, man. They got to stop showing it.
It looks really good. I'm not even going to play Starfield with a controller, but like,
yeah,
it's a really good looking controller.
Yeah, I'll see how the world treats me. I haven't decided yet.
What about you, Seto? How do you usually play RPGs? Do you usually go with the vanilla, like good choices? That's what I do, at least.
Whenever I go, I always play it neutral. I never do really good things, but I never do like really bad things as well. I always play like the morally gray. That's always my first playthrough because I always feel like I always find the most fun out of that is always playing the morally gray person.
I'm just so boring. Like I always do this where I just play like I just choose the typical good guy options.
Yeah.
Because I don't want people to fear me. I want people to be like admire me in the game. I don't know.
Yeah.
I want
it's just
too.
The headphones look so good.
they look
they
really
do
good.
really look really,
I'm sure they're
really
shit,
good.
but like, come on, man, they look so good.
It looks so comfy.
I love the aesthetic of this game. Like what do they call it? Like NASA punk.
Yeah.
So
NASA
dope.
punk.
So cool. Yeah, that's what they call in the style of Starfield.
That's really cool.
I don't know. I feel like I might go full space pirate. You know,
just go full
like,
space pirate.
Just like because they mentioned in the gameplay, like in the gameplay presentation, where they were like, oh yeah, you can just like go up to random ships and like board them and take over their ship and then take it and have the ship. It's like, so like typically I would be the good guy, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just gonna be like a bad motherfucker in this game. Yeah, you know, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know how it's gonna go. And I'm sort of with you, Nathan, where I'm gonna see how the game kind of pans out. And
historically in Bethesda games, I'm a terrible human being.
Really?
in the open world, but then the stories I'm usually like okay. Because I will thief and steal from every single motherfucker possible.
Actually, that's a really good point because that's how I'm playing Baldur's Gate 3. Where I'll do the good choices, but I am absolutely sneaking and stealing from people to grab their shit.
Every chance I get, I'm taking it.
Is there anything you guys are still worried about with this game in particular? Like anything, I called out here like biome diversity, which I don't think is going to be an issue because they showed so much already in this gameplay. But I also called out like outpost building, combat, you know, like... I think that's my one holdout is I hope that the outpost building is fun because even if it is option, I hope it's. What'd you say?
Can you do that? Can you?
You could build outposts.
Really, as well your ships. Oh, that's really cool. That's really cool. Okay.
And you can make home so you can buy your own houses on like the habitable cities, but you can also build your own outposts on any planet, I believe.
Yeah.
And I just hope it's good. Like, I would have really loved in Fallout 4 if I did set up a fucking full network of settlements, but that whole control scheme didn't really work for me.
Oh, it was pretty bad in Fallout 4.
It was pretty
bad. This looks a lot better though.
Yeah, I think this is more module based, like the ships, so you can like plonk down sections rather than
and then build out the interior objects from there.
Yeah.
I think the way I'm going to go about it is like they sort of show like the bird's eye view look of building like the big components, and then when I want to kind of trick it out with furniture and stuff that I've collected on my travels, like that's like when I'll go in the first person.
That's how No Man's Sky works. Yeah, it's obviously not as intricate with the interior detailing, but yeah, it's module based, and then you can do the insides later.
Yeah, I'm hoping that I just build a fucking network of outposts across like every planet I can find. And
it'd be really cool.
Go from there.
It shouldn't take too long, I wouldn't think. Like because it's module based, I reckon you could probably get it up and running within like half an hour each.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, I do. I think they've definitely taken the feedback from Fallout 4 on for this, at least from what it looks like in the gameplay they've shown.
How long did they say it was going to take to like beat this game or play through this game?
They haven't said it. I mean, they haven't said anything with Bethesda RPGs, it's infinite. Like you never technically finish it.
It's
like
usually a long time.
The story,
So,
I mean, stories in Fallout
large though.
Yeah.
I'm actually curious how long the story's going to take. Like, if you just mainline story missions, I wonder how long do Bethesda RPGs typically take? Because, I mean, I've never really just, like, gone from main mission to main mission. Like, there's always things to distract you.
I reckon Skyrim probably took me 20.
20 hours just to
but
mainline.
maybe even less if you actually properly mainlined it.
Yeah, I'm curious because I know Bethesda RPGs aren't so much like dependent on the main story in the way that other RPGs are. It's sort of like you make your own fun, in a way that a lot of other RPGs don't.
It's also kind of hard to discern some main storylines in
from side stuff.
Bethesda games. Yeah,
very true. Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, so I guess I just want my one worry is that I don't love everything about the game, and naturally that's probably gonna happen. But I would love to just be like, dude, I'm building ships, I've got a whole network of outposts, I'm killing motherfuckers in combat, like really enjoying the combat.
Something will be a little bit of a letdown, more than likely.
I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, one of the elements that we talked about.
What do you think? How do you think the combat's gonna feel? Like at least from looking at it,
yeah.
Like Cyberpunk 2077 tier combat, or like
maybe a little worse than that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's sort of my read on it too.
An upgrade from Fallout 4, but maybe not as good as the industry.
Yeah. I would have just loved, you know what they should have done? And obviously they didn't do this, but I would have loved if id Software just like helped them with the combat in this game. And I know they didn't. Good. I think actually it helped them with the motion blur. Which is of all the things is very funny. To get the motion blur right in first person.
Yeah, look how quick they got those modules up and running.
That's true.
Yeah.
Dude, this looks like a dream, dude. Like just looking at this, I'm like, how is this real? How can I just build? These are outposts that people have built and they've got like tricked it out with everything inside and man. And it's like 2 weeks away. Like it's so soon. Yeah, I'm trying not to get too hyped for this game, but it's kind of impossible.
Yeah, like I ignored it since the last time we talked about it, and it kind of my hype tapered. But I'm just gonna try and ignore that I saw all this again.
Yeah, exactly. Just try to keep the expectations in line. But yeah, in terms of like, I guess in terms of review scores, where do you think this game's gonna land? Like, if you had to guess now, after what you've seen,
mid to high 80s.
It's funny. Really? I don't think this game gets below a 90. I really don't.
I was gonna say high 80s, low 90s.
I think Bethesda RPGs just don't. They don't go below.
Yeah,
90.
I don't even know what the previous ones have gotten, to be honest with you.
Lowest, well, obviously Fallout 76, but not including that.
That.
Fallout 4 got an 88.
Okay, shit. Then yeah, this is getting a 90, I reckon.
And Fallout 4, I think, got docked, sort of mainly because it kind of followed up Witcher 3. Like that's honestly what killed Fallout 4 for me, because I literally played Witcher 3 and I was like, this is like one of the greatest RPGs of all time. Like I'm so into this. And then Fallout 4 came out and it was just more Fallout 3. So it was just more of a game that I played in 2008, and I didn't really it didn't gel with me just because I felt like I was retreading steps. Yeah, I think Starfield is the kind of the evolution of the Bethesda RPG in a way that Fallout 4 wasn't. At least looking at it, we'll see how it goes on September 1st. Do you think Baldur's Gate 3 has less? I mean, obviously Nathan Baldur's Gate 3 is not lessened your excitement for Starfield, but
no.
Ben, has it lessened your excitement at all?
Well, I'm gonna be finishing Baldur's Gate 3 before Starfield, so not really. That's the thing.
You're all a bunch of noobs. I'm an absolute Baldur's Gate 3 speedrun master.
Yeah, dude.
Sorry, the speedrun record now is 8 minutes for Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh,
there's already
missed it by 20 hours.
Yeah.
Do you know what one of the most popular speedruns for Baldur's Gate right now?
What?
First sex scene. To get the first sex scene.
Yeah.
6%.
Yeah, that's one of the.
I did see that.
Well, that's one of the more popular ones right now, and I think it's like in like 6 minutes or some shit, like some really stupid like speed run to finish the game. Oh, sorry, to get to the first X scene.
Yeah,
it's very quick. But no, it hasn't lessened my excitement for it. I was just thinking about this. I realized that the reason why I'm not really excited for this, because when this got announced, and majority of the time that I've been hearing about this game, I had my old PC, so I wouldn't be able to run the game. But now that I have my new PC, I can run it really well.
Actually, I was going to say concerns. I'm concerned about the performance of this game.
That is always something that is an unknown, yeah.
That is true. That's a good point.
It's only launching with FSR. People data mined the, because the preload's up now, data mined the preload, no mention of DLSS or XESS.
Oh.
So it is just going to be FSR. There's a rumor that FSR 3 is launching with Starfield. But I feel like we would have heard about that by now, because FSR 3 is apparently meant to be like the DLSS 3.0 version of like AMD's solution to that, which is the I don't know. I'm not even sure how that's going to work, because it's not going to be like Yeah, I'm really curious how that solution is going to work, but
Mm.
yeah, fingers crossed. Starfield performance is good.
Yep.
The fact that it's 30 FPS on Series X and Series S is a little worrying, I think. But it may just be CPU bound. I think that's probably
That's
the
probably
likely
it.
reason.
That makes most sense.
So
Yeah.
we'll see
I
what
mean,
happens.
you guys will be fine. Like $3,000 GPUs, but
Yeah, but also like you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised how many games just this year in particular just aren't
yeah,
running the games how they
yeah, there
you
were a
wanted
couple
to.
of games that I had issues with that you had the exact same issue with, even
Hmm?
though it's like the horsepower difference is kind of crazy.
A lot of it's
Mm.
just CPU.
Yeah.
And especially when you put on ray tracing, it just like fucking pounds the CPU, and it's just
Yeah.
even like the top Intel and AMD chips just aren't good enough.
Mhm.
Um,
Do better,
so
Todd.
my last question here is: do you think Starfield will be your game of the year? Your
Probably not.
personal game of the year? Really?
Yeah.
I
Probably
think it's still
not.
gonna be Tears.
Yeah, probably.
It'd
What
probably
about you,
not for
Ben?
me.
Yeah, it's yeah, it's
Dude,
probably gonna be Baldur's Gate for you.
Baldur's Gate is really high up there. It's really surpassed a lot of yeah.
I think, man, before Baldur's Gate, I thought there was definitely a chance because I've always been more of the story kind of person and more RPG kind of person than what Zelda does. Um, I don't know. I don't know. It would have to be really, really fucking good.
Really good,
Like
right?
best Bethesda, specifically best Bethesda RPG of all
I
time.
think I'll probably enjoy playing this more than Tears of the Kingdom, but I think
Mm-hmm.
technically Tears of the Kingdom would be a better game.
I'm just curious about like, because the thing about Baldur's Gate 3 that I've really enjoyed is like how free it feels.
It does, yeah.
And I'm wondering if stuff in terms of choice, not even just like you can go and do whatever you want, like you can in a Bethesda RPG, but even just like choice wise, I feel like it gives me every single possible option I would need in a dialogue scenario. Whereas I think Bethesda's, at least in the past, has felt more like
It's pretty narrow.
coning you
Usually,
in.
like,
Yeah, it's narrowing
two-
you into.
Two endings
Two-
that you go for, and it doesn't really matter what you go for in between, but you'll just get
Exactly.
two or three like major.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
honestly, even Baldur's Gate 3 has been like that. So like now that
Yeah,
I'm
that's
getting to sort of the end of some of the quest lines, there are sort of like you can do this or you can do this.
Yeah.
But there's a little bit of variation in there, but not as much as you would maybe expect from what you went on with like the journey through those quest lines. Yeah, I don't know. I think Starfield's going to be damn high on my list though. I've got a really good feeling about it. Do you think it's going to be the industry's game of the year at the
No.
Game Awards?
No.
Probably
No.
not, right?
Yeah.
But maybe. You know,
Maybe.
who knows? Maybe. What if this game comes out bug free, fantastic story, great combat, awesome exploration? You know?
Yeah, Cook's
knows?
gonna cook, you know.
Cook's
Yeah.
gonna cook.
But yeah, Starfield's very close. I'm very excited for it. I'm sure
Yeah,
you
it
guys
looks
are
very
too. What a year for games, you know? What
Oh,
a
it's been
fantastic,
a great year
fantastic
so far.
Shit's popping.
Yeah.
Speaking of games this year, what have you guys been playing this week? I don't see anything on the next to your name, so I'm not sure what
Yeah.
you've been playing.
Baldur's Gate 3, I finished the game.
You did finish
Well-
the Baldur's Gate 3.
Do I want to quickly just talk about On Guard? It's going to be like 2 minutes.
Oh
and
yeah,
we'll
you
go
can
to
talk about
Baldur's
On
Gate.
God.
All right,
Yeah,
well,
hold
Yeah.
get that going. Get that going.
Yeah, I'll quickly talk about On Guard. I didn't write it down. I forgot to. But
okay.
um,
I'm quick
yeah,
on the draw.
very quickly with On Guard. Yeah, it's exactly what I thought it would be. It's good.
Which is
it-
more
which-
specific.
yeah. So
What did you think
basically,
it was gonna be?
Oh,
this
Yeah.
yeah. This game. So basically with this game, we talked a little beforehand. All it really is you are think of like Sekiro, but in like the idea of like Zorro, right? That's literally what the game is.
Yep.
It is fun. The story is, it's there. It's actually really good because the story really plays into how campy everything is, you know what I mean? And how the main character, gets away with everything. So, like at one point, you're in a prison, right? You get captured, you're in a prison, and you find a really easy way out, which is literally just you pull a painting off the wall, and then there's a hole behind the painting that leads to the pathway out. And the character's like, "Wow, an always very easy way to get out." And then as you push the next painting down, the guards are constantly going like, "How does she always find the way out?" So the game constantly makes fun of how campy and how kind of stupid it actually is, which
How
is
does the game
nice.
feel? Like, so obviously you played the demo. You were pretty high eye on the demo. How does the full
Yes.
game release feel
It
compared to
feels really good. I'm genuinely surprised. It doesn't feel clunky by any means. It doesn't feel floaty, which is really nice as well. Like the complaint I will have with the game is that it is very easy with parry. So like how you saw there, when something flashes blue,
Mhm.
you can parry it really easily.
Sure.
And what you can do in this game is you can just spam the Y button on the controller. And it will parry it no matter what, right? There's no timing with it. You can literally just spam the button,
Interesting.
and you
Is
can
that a
parry.
difficulty thing? Like if you turn up the difficulty, does it stop that?
I am playing on the hardest difficulty, and it doesn't stop it. So,
interesting, okay.
and I can understand why, because the entire idea of this game is that you're using your environment and you're constantly like playing through the environment, and you're kind of being like this kind of Jack Sparrow where you're constantly going around to these things, throwing pots at people, throwing bombs, lighting up cannons, and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
I was gonna say, I wonder if it's more because they want the combat to look flashy.
Yes. Oh, and
Like
it
they don't
definitely
really want you being
feels-
hit.
It feels flashy because like your character, so there's two attacks that basically happen. There's a blue one, okay, which feels flashy, you can parry it, and there's a yellow one or like an orange one that comes at you, and you have to dodge that one. And what's so really cool is if you perfectly dodge, your character does all these flashy moves where like they'll bend like backwards, right? So they'll bend with their stomach out and go over their head, or they'll slide to the right and stuff like that. It's really flashy and it's really cool. And genuinely, I really enjoyed this game, and like it's not like phenomenal. It's not gonna be my top 10, but it's fun. I really enjoy
So this
it.
isn't beating Baldur's Gate 3 for Game of the Year for you.
Oh, absolutely not.
kinda
But no,
figured.
genuinely, I'm really enjoying it, and it's only like I think for us like $25 Australian, and you get like 6 hours worth of content. And I would say it's worth it. I wouldn't like.
Sorry, that doesn't equate to my $1 1
Oh,
hour. I'm sorry.
unfortunate.
Yeah,
It'll be
yeah. Sorry,
24.
I'm gonna need at least 50 hours of this game for it to be
Ah,
worth my
damn.
time. You know.
But
No,
yeah,
that's
no.
good. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, it was really really fun, and I'm probably gonna 100% it because it's pretty easy to 100% because each level has like certain challenges that you need to do and whatnot as well. So it just adds on to it where like you need to like throw a bucket on someone's head and then knock them into a wall, like a weapon rack to kill them, right, or something like that. And yeah, it's like there's like certain challenges. I'm probably 100% this game, but this is definitely a game to where if you don't really have anything else to play, to good pick up, and I could definitely see this game coming to Game Pass. Like this
What
could.
I'm curious. Like, what if you had any critique of the game, like anything that's negative, what would it be?
The game is, I would say, too easy. Like I would say
Too much of a gamer, you know. It's
Yeah, too much of
easy.
a gamer. Well, that like the thing is that like I was gonna make that joke, but I could see this.
Does it feel
game-
satisfying though?
Oh,
like,
definitely.
just
Well,
wrecking
that's
everything?
the thing is that with this game, you get so like one complaint I saw a lot of people say is that you do get surrounded by enemies quite a lot. Sometimes you have 3-4 enemies on you. And what's really nice about this game is that, as I said, you could spam the parry button. If 2 people come at you with a parry at the same time, you'll parry both of them, right? Which feels so satisfying to do because you're basically staying in the middle of this group of 4 people, constantly parrying, dodging, and
Is there
whatnot.
like an upgrade system? Like with so like in
there's-
terms of sword moves, like do you get new ones or
Yeah, so you get 3 sword moves and you
Mm-hmm.
get those over time. So the first one is just a jab you do at someone and it breaks their armor. The second one is a wide sweep, which we see the character do once.
Yeah, it was just a little bit before. I can
Yeah,
actually
you
find
do
it
like
again.
a wide sweep, which knocks enemies onto their back. And then the last one is this really big like roundhouse kick that puts a lot of stagger onto an enemy. The thing about this game though is that it's not really an upgrade system in the sense of how you upgrade. It's how the environment changes for you
to give you
be
new
able to do
tools.
stuff. Exactly. So the environment might change to where you might, because there's parkour in this game. So we see a little bit where you can like grab onto
Yeah,
stuff.
is that just like is that a connector between combat
Yeah,
arenas?
so basically how this game works is there's fighting, parkour, fighting, that's literally the loop of it, right? And there's a lot of that stuff here, and the parkour is actually really good. It feels really fluid. It's very easy to do. Like there's this stuff where there's basically these poles, and you basically have to jump, and then you just hold forward on the left thumbstick, and your character will just grab the pole automatically and just
Sure.
jump between them. But it feels very fluid. There was one fight scene I did which was really cool, where you're like in this underground area. And you're fighting all these enemies, and there's these poles that you can go around of, and you're getting swarmed by all these like really really easy to kill enemies, but there's a shit ton of them. So you use
Sure.
the poles to dance around above them, and it feels really cool because again, this game, one thing it does really well, and what I loved about it was kind of the style of it. You do feel like you're kind of like a Jack Sparrow, Zoro type, where you're constantly just dancing around enemies, using your environment to take care of them and whatnot. And it feels very fun to play. And yeah, it definitely lived up to my expectations. It is a very fun game. I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Good stuff. I'm going to check it out at some point.
This is definitely a game I could see coming to Game Pass. 100%. This is definitely.
I want to support the developer. I mean, it's an indie game, so like.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'd be happy
But
to
what
pay
I'm saying,
for
like
it.
in the future, I could definitely see the game coming to Game Pass.
Yeah,
I could definitely
totally.
see it, and I could see it doing well.
Oh
yeah,
I'm gonna play it on Game Pass. I'm gonna play it.
gonna play it on Game Pass.
We like developers. We like indie developers in particular. They probably it was all their like money, all their saved up money went into this game.
Too bad they're gonna be on the streets.
So I've still been playing a little game called Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh yeah, of course.
Obviously we talked about it at length last week or 2 weeks ago. Last week, 2 weeks ago? I can't remember.
Last week.
We talked about it a whole bunch. So I am now 3 hours into this game.
Yep.
I'm in the last act of the game, getting very close to the end. I obviously am not going to spoil anything because it's a lot of game. Obviously, a lot of people aren't up to this point in the game yet. Wow, this game is good. Oh god, it's so good. I'm just like still so impressed by how everything. There's just been such a fantastic vision for this game, where like it almost feels like, and I'm sure there were points where stuff got cut out because they were just like, we need to cut down. We need to take down some of the scope of this game because it's getting a bit too crazy. But it doesn't feel like that when I'm playing it. Like it feels like every single idea the developers at Larian had for this game, they were like, oh yeah, we can put it in. Just put it in. Just chuck it in. We'll find a way to get it into the game. And I'm now max level with all 4 of my party members, and just the stuff, all the spells have taken from D&D 5e and just incorporated them and made them make sense in gameplay. So impressive.
Yeah. That was what I was gonna quickly say is one thing I'm super impressed with was that all the small things they've done to tweak D&D to make more sense in game and whatnot, because like tabletop RPG of course is different. So like one, for example, I'll quickly say is inside of D&D, I don't know if you know if you've done this, Jamie, but you can but like inside of Baldur's Gate you can cast a spell and then bonus action cast another spell, right? You actually can't do that inside of D&D. It's small things like that that's tweaked because it just makes more sense to be able to do that in game. You know what I mean? And like spells, they've tweaked a little bit to do it as well, which actually like works out like much better. And this game has done really well where it's very small, but it fits the game so much better. And there's stuff in this game that I'm going to steal and put into D&D because they just do it better here. It's just better.
Yeah,
right?
I really like that they've sort of taken the license and they've obviously adhered to the rule set of 5e, but as you said, they have taken their own
like path.
They've just made quality of life improvements to make it make more sense as a video game. And even I can see that as someone who has not played D&D. Like they've really adapted that rule set in a really, really smart way in this game. And I can't wait to mod this game. I can't wait to do a second playthrough because there's already mods where you can have every party member in your party at once, and it just works really cool in the game. Because I think originally they were going to do 6 party members.
I had that. I just didn't find any more than 4.
Yeah. Just all dead, or like Lae'zel's still fucking caged up in Act 1.
I was ready to have
hey,
8 people absolutely rolling, but
you know what, Nathan? How did you go? We'll talk about your play because you had a very different playthrough.
I finished the game, bro.
Yeah, you finished the game already.
But I got your
Didn't even
ending
get to
because I
Act
was
3,
like,
but I finished it.
Dude, it's so funny because like Act 3 is when you actually get to Baldur's Gate, so it's like you never got to the location of the game.
Yeah. So Nathan, what happened? How did you finish the game?
What happened?
Early? Yeah, how did you finish the game early?
Well, obviously probably no spoilers.
Oh, true. That is a spoiler. That's true. That is a spoiler.
But I do like that because I got your ending. I saved Scum to see what the ending was. But I like how the narrator's like, this is not the Destiny we anticipated you would
right?
have.
This is not what's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
I'll probably play it again at some point. I just wanted to try and get a quick ending.
Quick run
and I think I've definitely learned enough to actually enjoy a second playthrough without making too many mistakes. Because this playthrough I was constantly just like learning about the game, and it's like, well, if I wouldn't have done any of this if I knew all of that, and not just
Yeah.
like story stuff, but like how the game physically works. It's like I wouldn't have chosen to do any of this, and I feel like restarting now. So a second playthrough will be good, maybe next
Yeah.
year.
I was gonna say like this
four-player
game is
co-op?
very easy to make mistakes in,
Oh yeah.
and like it's really easy to like build into a character that's bad. Like your
Oh, yeah.
main character, like it's just easy to just make the wrong
Mhm.
kind of
I did it
because I've
twice.
yeah, right. Yeah, like I'm sure I'm sure like I haven't necessarily respec my characters, but I'm sure I could optimize my characters to make them better, and not need to dock down the difficulty when I'm just like getting my fucking ass chewed out in a fucking boss fight. But I've persevered and I've gotten through it, and now I'm just like I'm fucking OP as shit, dude.
Yeah.
My paladin is just wrecking fools, doing divine strike twice in a row, just like man, I trivialized a boss fight today with an undead thing,
Oh, yes.
a person, as part of a companion quest. And I like trivialized it with one spell and 2 hits of
Yeah.
divine strike and just fucking rinsed after being like, I don't know how to fucking fight this thing. Like he's doing
Yeah.
70 damage. And I really like that so far all of the bosses had like tricks where
Yes.
like if you work out what their kind of their weakest thing is, or just use the spells that you have at your disposal in an interesting and intuitive way, you can kind of overcome a lot of the hardships surprisingly easy. Like I think the game's tough, but you can make it super, super easy, sort of in a way that kind of From Software games can be.
Yeah.
Where it's really tough, but you can also like trivialize it with certain, abilities that you have or certain methods or, whatever. And yeah, I think I'm very close to the end, and I think I'm at a point now where I'm pretty sure Baldur's Gate 3 is my game of the year.
Yeah.
And that's no disrespect, obviously, to Tears of the Kingdom. Like Tears of the Kingdom is a very close number 2. But I just love narratives in games, and one thing that I think Baldur's Gate 3 does much better than Tears of the Kingdom is give you the freedom to do anything in any kind of order,
Yes.
but not have narrative kind of faults. Like
Because of it.
in Tears of the Kingdom, like as I said, I
Full
did
of it.
something in the first 20 hours, and they kept asking me the same thing, and I was like, I
Where's
know,
Zelda?
I know.
Oh my god, is that Zelda? No.
Oh my god.
No, it's
and
not.
it was just a constant frustration for 80 hours until the end. And I was like, surely they could have like blocked me from going to the memories. Like I understand they wanted to make it very open, but I think they made it maybe too open for what
Just for that
how they-
particular thing, yeah, for sure.
for that last memory. Like make
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just it feels like I bugged it and I just like did something early when I shouldn't have. It was really, really weird and it really bummed me out because it just
Link's
sort
just
of
sitting there as a silent motherfucker, not telling anyone what he saw.
He's like, oh, I know what you don't know. Yeah, and it really like derailed the whole story for me, which is really unfortunate. And I haven't had that in Baldur's Gate 3 yet. Although I have had weird stuff where like, so one of the choices I made in Act 1 with the hag, with
Yes.
reviving this woman's dead husband,
That's
that gets brought up again in Act 3. They never mention the husband that I resurrected. And I'm like talking to Mayrina and she's like, the dead husband's behind her, and they never mention his fucking corpse that is still a corpse, not a dude anymore. It was so
He's just chilling.
it was so weird how they
So-
never brought it up. It was and I'm honestly thinking like it's a bug, and like one of the narrative flags just hasn't triggered for them to talk about that fucking
Maybe.
corpse husband. I don't know.
so.
I do have a bit of a
actually-
problem with my story and how
sure.
it went. I think I got railroaded into a path that it made me go down.
This was
And I don't really like it. Because the way my story was going and then the way that it made me go don't match at all. It just didn't make any sense.
Because you would have allied with the dead 3.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
But then
and
they're like,
but they didn't.
"Ah,
let
fuck you for no reason, even though they had no reason to say fuck you. I had
Yeah.
literally helped them on everything so far.
That is.
They
I
interesting,
actually
yeah.
had
have
no
some
reason to
complaints.
suspect me.
I actually have some complaints about this video game. Okay, I decided this week to actually bring in
in
some
our,
complaints.
in our god of the games, Larian Studios making the best RPG ever since Witcherino.
So I was going to actually, I was going to ask you, Nathan, because I was going to actually ask if you felt that the same way, because my brother's playing. He's doing an evil playthrough, and he said exactly the same thing. He said that the evil playthrough is a very narrow path you go. You don't have really the exploration. It's a very narrow path you
I
go
wouldn't mind
down.
if it was narrow, just as long as it made sense.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah, because if it pushes you down a certain path, because I haven't felt like
me
it's
down the
pushed
good
me.
path.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think it's pushed me down a certain path yet, but I can understand why, especially
Like-
with the way Act 2 ends. I'm not even sure how. Yeah, I wonder if there is a way to go full evil. I mean, you can't. I mean, you just can't pair up with them.
Yeah.
Well,
That-
unless
that's
maybe
the end
Dark
of Act
Urge.
2, no
Maybe
matter what, I
Dark
think.
Urge. I know Dark Urge changes a lot of stuff.
I was gonna
around.
say people have said Dark Urge is like a whole different game.
Yeah,
basically.
Dark Urge. I actually, I
For
did do
Nathan,
like
if you don't know, Dark Urge is an origin character you can pick at the beginning because you know how you can pick a
okay.
custom or you can pick
Yeah.
any of the companions you find, or Dark Urge is like the generic evil character, I guess.
Right.
actually, sort of. So I actually started a Dark Urge. I did like 10 hours of a Dark Urge, right? Like in the first couple of days it came out because I wanted to see what everyone was raving about. So Dark Urge.
Don't spoil anything. I want to do a Dark Urge playthrough, so I don't want.
Oh, I'm not gonna spoil anything. Don't worry. Do you mind if I explain like the idea? Because you get this idea as you click Dark Urge. You get the idea of how it works. Basically, you got no memories and you have the bloodlust to kill. That's literally Dark Urge, right? And the options are you either go and you give into the urge, okay, and you start wrecking shit, or the other idea is that you can resist it. And depending on the route you go, really changes. Like in the first 10 hours, it was.
But if you resist
different.
it, aren't you just doing what a normal custom character would do?
No, actually, it changes quite a lot
Right.
because how do I explain this? Your character is really addicted to killing and trying to go away from it. Your character gets some really bad shit happens because of it. Like
Do you have companions on a Dark Urge playthrough?
you still have companions. If you
How do they think about what you're doing? Because I feel
so
like a lot of them are just. I mean, maybe like Astarion and Shadowheart will be like, oh yeah, fuck it, I don't give a shit. But like, and maybe even Lae'zel. But
Shadowheart was really funny. I told Shadow like I have a bloodlust to kill, and she's like, "Oh, bet I'll help you." Basically, that's what she said. She's like, "I'll try to help you through it." And there was at one point where I think I came over like a boar that was dying. My character really wanted to kill the boar, like to finish off and like maim the boar. And Shadow was like, "No, don't do it. It's fine." And Zell was like, "Do it, kill the boar." So I had like the two voices just like screaming at me, telling me what to do. But yeah, I heard that evil playthrough is very narrow. So that is one of my complaints. I heard.
well,
that
yeah, I guess it pinholes you into a certain.
it does, yeah,
a certain outcome.
yes.
I think that would be okay, but yeah, it's just that one thing that I
that one
experienced
bit,
right at the end.
yeah.
That going into Act 3, where it was like, yeah, you kind of have to do this for the
And
story
I will say, in Act 3, there is a very clear evil route.
There is.
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't
With-
doubt that there is, but yeah,
which does sort of recontextualize the end of Act 2.
just the
Yeah.
transference into Act 3, where they kind of
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the context of Act 3 can like form your character in a little bit of more of a well-defined way, as opposed to it looking like you're fighting against the bad guys. I don't want to spoil Act 3, but it gives you an out to like go down an evil path, basically.
It does, yes.
So there is that, but it's a hitch. It looks weird without seeing the rest of Act 3, I guess.
Yes.
When you just
I just didn't want to
understand
kill those guys ever. They're my friends.
that. Yeah, and I think
buddy.
I'm pretty sure you can't.
Yeah,
There's-
I was
You
just
can't
gonna
ally
doesn't
with
look
them,
like
I'm
that's
pretty
a thing.
sure.
Yeah.
Even in
Yeah.
Act 3, I don't think so. Wait, this motherfucker killed the owlbear.
Oh, what a piece of shit, bro. What the hell? Why is he fighting the owlbear?
So that's actually a really weird thing, right? With the owlbear.
yeah, die, you bitch.
So
Sorry, go on.
I got to the owlbear cave in
Mm-hmm.
X1 and walked away.
Yes.
But the owlbear cub still came to my camp as if I'd killed the mother.
Well, no, because what do you call the owlbear cub comes to your camp if you don't stop the goblins or something like that, right? That's the reason.
The
Because
goblins
apparently
had been eradicated
They would have been. Well, apparently
before I did the owlbear stuff.
apparently there's like a group of like people that come and kill the owlbear. And like there's some quest that I didn't.
Yeah,
stop
see,
them
and
as
that
well.
doesn't make sense because
Doesn't
I've
it?
killed all
No.
the goblins already.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it is the goblins. But yeah, what happens is I also did that. I killed the goblins, then I went to the owlbear and I became friends with the owlbear. I left, but then I think the owlbear mother died later on, and now the cubs have my camp.
I mean, it works out. Like I guess in my head canon, because my assumption is, yeah, you basically go here, kill the owlbear mother, and then the owlbear cub gets captured, and you can rescue them from the goblin
Yes.
camp if you
Mhm.
haven't done the goblin camp yet. My head canon is basically that. a group of mercenaries came to the owlbear cave, killed the owlbear mother, and then the owlbear cub got away and then found me and remembered that I backed away from the owlbear mother, can trust me, and stays at camp. That's how I've role played through that. But it was weird where I'm pretty sure the only way the owlbear cub technically goes to your camp is if you kill the owlbear mother.
Yeah.
And then rescue it from the goblins.
Which is
I think that is fair. It's a massive game with so many spanning trees.
Oh yeah,
branches.
Oh totally.
Yeah, I did expect there to be some sort of moment where I was like, this doesn't line up completely with what I did, but
I will say one of my complaints with this game, there's like one quest that I've come across in Act 1, and I haven't seen it since, that is time gated.
I know exactly which one you're talking about. Yeah.
And it's so weird. And I don't understand why they did it, because I haven't found any other quest in the game that has pushed me along purposefully.
Yes.
Because I rested. It's the only quest, and I don't know why they did it. But it's locked me out of a character that can help me in Act 3, basically. Because of a weird like time gated thing that they didn't really tell me. They were like, oh yeah, this is like, you should go, this person's in a cave of poison gas. But it didn't really like trigger to me that like resting would push that forward and actually kill them. I just never thought that. I just never had that realization, because no other quest in the game does that. And I thought that's kind of weird.
Yeah, exactly the same. Like,
and that kind of fucked up my actual that quest line in particular, because basically what happened was I'm in the Grimforge with a bunch of people, enemies. Like I'm with them, but they're bad people. I rested. I go back to the Grimforge, and everyone's dead. And I was like,
it just,
where the fuck did everyone go?
What happened, bro? Yeah, no, exactly.
And then I went to my journal, and it's like, oh yeah, you didn't save so and so, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess.
Exactly,
like I literally was like one rest, and then it was so weird, so strange.
Yeah,
there has been some weird things like that, and I'm not sure if they're bugs or if it's just weird like narrative flags not triggering properly. But I'm sure that'll get fixed at some point. But overall, it's been fairly minor.
That's actually my only other complaint. My only complaint is, and I'm not going to spoil it, because there is one person's quest line or that feels very unfinished. I'm going to wait till you.
I wonder who. I haven't seen that yet. To be fair, I haven't finished many of the companion quest lines yet.
Yeah. I'm going to wait until you finish the entire game, Jamie, because I am basically nearly done with the game. I'm close.
I think tomorrow I'll finish the game.
Yeah. And then we can talk about it next week and do like a little spoiler cast, because this definitely
really good. We should. I wonder when we could do. Maybe we wait and do a spoiler cast.
Don't
like
forget
maybe
you're gonna spoil it for me.
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
Yeah.
I was gonna say maybe like December.
Maybe. I'm fine with pushing it back, but
away from everything else.
There is
because we don't want to spoil it for you, Nathan, and we don't want to. I mean, people. It's gonna take ages for people to get to the end of the.
Oh yeah, it's like people can just not watch if they don't want to get spoiled, but
That's
I've
true.
got
But you've got to be here. You're locked in.
There's literally one quest that kind of annoys me a little.
I'm actually worried that my Karlach companion quest is blocked now, because I didn't it's telling me to do one thing that I can't do anymore because I've already done it without her. But I'm not sure but that has happened sometimes where it says I've got to do a certain thing, but I didn't do it with a certain character. But then it still pushes along that quest anyway when I get to a certain point.
Yeah.
Because it happened with finding another character where it said find so and so at this location, and I had gone into Act 3 and that location was no longer available.
Yeah.
But then I ended up finding that character anyway in Act 3. It was very strange.
Oh, yeah.
And it was dumb luck, honestly. Because I was like, oh, okay, I fucked that quest. That's over. And it's bugged. But it technically didn't bug. It just didn't update because it didn't want to reveal that character was where I was, I guess. Yes. I don't know. There's definitely been some weird stuff. And I feel like the game has got progressively more buggy.
Yeah. And
Act 3 is very, very buggy. I
went into this knowing, because I heard with Larian Studios that Act 1, Act 2 are usually really good. Act 3 is usually really buggy. Like, you'll notice a lot of the problems in Act 3.
I mean, Shadow can't continue playing the game at the moment.
No, he cannot play the game right
now.
Because
the performance is so bad.
In the city, yes.
In the Act 3 location.
Really?
Which I guess.
Yeah,
yes.
He literally cannot play right now because the performance is that bad in Act 3.
He was saying that also, like, the load times are ridiculous. Like, he can't. It takes like minutes to load.
Yeah.
Mine's not. Yeah, I was gonna say, but I did have a bit of a complaint about the load time as well.
Really?
But it's like 10. Sorry, there's fireworks going off really close to me. It's like
World War 3.
10 to 15 seconds to load a save, and for me that was just bitching about it. But I mean, minutes, no.
Yeah, no, he I don't know how long it was taking him, but he made it seems like going from like when you do a load screen or reloading a save, like it was a long time, and it was so he stopped playing until there's more patches.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't had long load times. They are about 10 to 15 seconds maybe.
Yeah, same. I've been about the 10
I also do
mark.
find it kind of annoying when I save scum F5 but I do my roll before it's done the cloud sync, and so I've got to wait at the failed screen.
Yeah, you literally
until it finishes and I can quick load.
Yeah,
I hate it. It's happened so many times. I'm like, oh god, I might as well just go get a fucking drink at this point.
I've turned off cloud sync. I'm straight up turned it off.
I'm not going to turn it off because if I forget to turn it back on and then
if your PC dies now, it's over.
It's
that's
gone.
True.
It's
That's
deleted
true.
for life.
It's gone.
That's what Shadow did. I'm pretty sure.
Shadow also turned it off.
That's crazy. That is such a fucking dangerous. He's playing a dangerous game. Especially Shadow is playing a dangerous game with the hard drive that just erupted recently.
That's true. The only reason I turned it off is because I was in a moment where I had to constantly be saving because I had to go through like multiple different fights. I'm probably gonna turn it back on, but I turned it off because I didn't want to wait the multiple minutes.
Because all it takes is like one random malfunction or like a cloud. I mean, some of people's people's saves have been corrupting. So.
You want to have that backup if you can.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. Yeah, I will be turning it back on.
Yeah, I'm scared for you.
Especially with how Act 3 has been very daunting.
Knowing that 100+ hours of work is just chilling.
Yeah, chilling right there.
Dude, if I lost my save now, I would be so upset.
I would be so sad.
So sad.
Yeah, you'd have to just take a massive break and just be like, no, I'm not going back.
I'll come back to it. Yeah, exactly. yeah.
But yeah. And we also
I am excited to do a co-op playthrough.
I was gonna say,
I think that'll be really fun.
I'm excited. Are you gonna join?
We'll do no save scumming. We should mod it as well.
If I'm going to be in it, we're not save scumming. No.
Oh no.
That's what I said. We're not save scumming.
Yeah, we're not save scumming.
I only did it once in my playthrough, and it was because the way that I was modding it was breaking the game.
If we are actually going to do it, it'd be so funny not save scumming.
I don't think we do any save scum. No. And any choice we make, we just go with it.
Absolutely.
100%. No, I
think hopefully Shadow doesn't sneak past a bunch of druids in Act 1
and then cause a civil war to break out.
Us to go into a civil war immediately.
No, I'm excited. I think it'd be good fun.
And also, I'll actually know how to play the game at that point.
Exactly.
I'm down for it if mods work in multiplayer, at least, because I want to play with the WASD movement and
yes,
the camera
that would
mod.
be really cool. I would also really like if we could get, because you can't, if we play 4 of us, there's no companions.
Yeah, it'd be cool if we get the A player.
If we get the A player and get 4
if we get the A player, and then
we
have each of us have a companion.
Because we're not trying to be true fucking gamers on a second playthrough. Who gives a shit?
We want to have fun with this.
Exactly,
right?
We're just gonna have fun with it.
I don't think that would work, but
the A players.
No, not with multiplayer.
True. Yeah, I think mods might break a little bit in multiplayer as well. It might break a little bit. We have to wait and see.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll probably get that try next week or something like that. We'll see what happens.
Jamie's frozen.
Well, Jamie's frozen. Oh, it happened. It finally happened.
I was like, it froze, but I'm switching over now anyway.
It's 9:30, man. Like, why is it shooting there now? Anyway, we're ending the podcast regardless. But before then, we've got to build.
No, we're top 100. Yeah.
We are building. I caught you. I tricked you. You know,
you tricked
thought
me.
It was ending, but it's not actually ending. Mainly because I just looked at the dock and saw that there's still one more thing to do. Yeah, let's build the 100. I'm all out of whack. The second my shit freezes, I'm like fucking.
you really just lose your shit.
My flow is gone.
Alrighty.
Who would like to go first?
I'll go. I don't think I've gone. I was just trying to find it. I forgot what I wrote down. That's right. Good. We've been playing it a bit lately, and I do definitely enjoy the game. I'm going to add Terraria this week.
Yep.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That's respectable.
Number
1 2D platformer.
Yeah, and that's why it's going above Minecraft.
I can't see the Excel screen.
Sorry.
Oh, well, there we go.
I thought it might have been me.
No.
Above.
I'm going to put it there.
Okay.
Boom. Mm-hmm. I want to put it above Destiny, but I don't think I want to put it above Yoshi's Island.
That's always the thing. I hate doing lists because it's like I would put it above this, but I wouldn't put it above this. Yeah. So it's like, where do I fucking put it? Ben, can I go next?
Yeah, you can go next.
So this is my
Yeah,
fucked up choice, right?
Let's hear it.
I really want to add the orange box to this game, to this list. Do you know what the orange box is?
Yeah, okay. I can see why you were.
Yeah, I can see why you're
the
saying
orange
that.
box. The
I can
orange
see why
box
you're saying that.
includes, if you don't remember, it includes. Let me find the list. Half-Life 2, Half-Life 2 Episode 1, Half-Life 2 Episode 2, Portal, and Team Fortress 2.
I would say that doesn't count. I was expecting
the
same games bundled in.
Yeah, that's
one.
that's a very big genre.
It is a very big genre.
I could see you doing like Half-Life,
Not
like
5 Valve games.
yeah, I could see you doing like.
I mean,
Half-Life
technically,
Episode
it is
2,
a single release.
but yeah, that's a lot.
It was the first time Half-Life 2 was on console. I mean,
True.
So think about these things. In that case, I'm putting Half-Life 2 on the list.
Yeah.
I'll just grab one of them, and
Mm-hmm.
Half-Life 2 can go on the list. I'm gonna put Half-Life 2. It's gonna go fucking high. Half-Life 2 is a fantastic video game. Half-Life 2 has got to be number 16.
Ooh.
Boom.
Guaranteed. It's got to be there, dude. Half-Life 2 fucking rocks. It still holds up after like over 2 decades nearly. What are you putting on the list, Ben?
I was looking between two. I'm gonna put this one on first. I'm gonna put Celeste on the list.
Good pick. Good pick.
Very good game.
Spot.
Yeah, that
yes,
is.
Yeah.
I
Where are you
it's
putting
hard because there's already so many good games on the list. I am going to put.
Okay, before you place it, I would legitimately say Celeste is probably actually the best 2D platform ever made.
I could agree with that.
Terraria.
It actually is. So
Above
I would be
Terraria?
okay with putting it as high as you want to put it. The absolute peak of where you want to put it.
Oh, you're giving me options then.
Hold on. How high are we thinking?
Okay, number 8. No, I'm kidding. Just like no.
When it gets by Mass Effect 2.
Are you good, Ajax? I'm gonna put
Ajax
it.
is also pissed off with that pick.
He's pissed off with the choice.
Where are you gonna put it?
Number 29.
Okay. Above Hollow Knight. Okay.
Above Hollow Knight.
I'm okay with that.
Above Hollow Knight. Yeah. No, I just want
Should
to
we
say
split up the Resident Evil games here? I'm just noticing.
they
that,
are.
like,
I did put them right next to each other.
Should we move Resident Evil 2 remake down a little bit?
Yeah, I think Resident Evil 2 remake should go down. I'm fine
Where'd you
with
put
Resident
it?
Evil 4
Since
where
Ben,
it
you
is.
put it in. Where would you put it?
Resident Evil 2. Let's put it. Oh god, there's a lot of good games here. I'm gonna drop it quite a lot. Let's put it underneath Destiny 2. I'm dropping quite a lot.
Wait, hold on. I don't know if I like that.
It's being
I mean,
committed.
we could do it, but I don't know if I like. I'm not happy about that at all.
I'm doing a big job with it. I'm doing a big job with it.
It's fucking crazy.
It's a huge job. It's a huge job.
Holy
I wanted to
shit.
move it, but the thing is, like, I am okay with
Bro
moving
went
there. We
fucking
can move it
nuclear
later.
all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It's like fucking moving shit.
Below Destiny. God damn. Times are dark with that game.
Oh my god.
Because,
now,
like-
do we also want to split up Halo Combat Evolved and Halo 3?
Oh, that's like
Also
number
known
9
as
and 10,
those
isn't
next
it?
to
Is
each
that
other.
number 9 and 10?
It's number
Where
10
are they?
and 11.
Oh, 10 and 11, yeah.
Yeah, they gotta chill.
I think that's pretty chill
What if
for
we
now.
move Halo 3 under Half of Alex? Just one.
I'm okay with that.
Just to split them up a little bit.
I'm okay with
Yeah.
that.
Oh, that's kind of crazy though. Oh, yeah. I mean, let's do it. Fuck it. At this point,
Oh my god. You've been moving my mouse.
I've been sitting
Very
here for the
sensitive.
past, like, since I've been playing Baldur's Gate. I've been like, where would Baldur's Gate go on this list? It's gonna go on the list.
see, the thing is, here's the thing, right? Is I'm not putting in any games that released this year because me personally,
Oh.
there's too much of a recency bias with.
I have a honeymoon phase.
Even though they would 100% end up on this list in like 5 to 10 years.
I
I had a Jedi Survivor. I thought that was.
I
definitely
was
a
going
good
to-
addition.
Jedi
I'm-
Survivor is a good pick.
I was going to add Baldur's Gate, but it's gonna be my last, like, our second to last pick, right? I'm not gonna put it anytime soon.
I've already figured out what we might want to add collectively.
collectively.
I've got a
Dead
one in
Island?
mind. No,
Oh,
an actual
Dead Island
pick.
2.
No, an actual pick.
Dead Island Riptide.
Nope. Dead Island. Well, I was gonna say Dead Island Riptide was Dead Island 2, but Dead Island 2 exists now. So.
Yeah, Dead Island 2 actually exists now.
Anyways, I'm gonna play Dead Island 2 at some point. You see, the rumor is
fun.
apparently coming to Switch 2. That was
Oh,
the,
shit.
The rumor. Next year.
There you go.
But you know that's a long time away. You know
That's a
So
long time away.
We're gonna end the podcast here. Thank you guys for hanging out. I appreciate it. My voice is going, so it's definitely time to wrap up. We'll be back again next week with dude, we will have played Armored Core 6.
We would
Seto.
have played Armored Core 6, exactly.
No, Sleeper Hit 2023.
Actually,
Yeah,
good
Sleeper,
game.
right?
Yeah, actual sleeper.
Hit.
Actual
Hit.
sleep. What, you sleeper? What do you mean?
No, like people don't expect it's going to be as good as it is. You know. It's a
Oh,
sleeper
okay,
hit,
that's what you mean.
You know?
I thought you meant like people are sleeping on the game.
No, like sleeper cars.
Yeah.
And Gamescom is next week too, so we're gonna have
That's
some
true.
more good news out of that.
Mhm.
Hollow Knight Silk Song release date,
Nope.
2023. Surely.
Nope.
Surely. We'll see you guys next week. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.